Welcome to Subramani. Please subscribe. Please hit the bell icon. Please increase my number of subscribers. Now on Twitter also you can follow me. It's PV Subramaniam. But remember, on Twitter I'm more a political animal than a financial animal. So sorry, but please subscribe. I met a young couple, young by my standards, could be anybody, right? So the girl had not yet turned 40 and her husband had just turned 41. So really young couple, and one of those lucky couples who had ESOP from two companies. She had worked in two companies, she had ESOP in both the places, and he was working in a company where he had ESOP, and nice substantial ESOP, right? 25,000 shares or something, and that each share was worth $400, and he was paying something like $90 for it. So old vested ones which he could have in cash and things like that. So when you have 25,000 shares of a company where that is about 1 crore that he had, and she also had about 5 crores of ESOP, so about 6-7 crores, and including their portfolio maybe they had about 10 crores. Let's say they had 10 crores. Now there are many questions as to what they should do, right? So first, if you ask me, in any such portfolio, I de-risk the portfolio. I said, no, this can't work. You can't have 10 crores in 3 companies on your net worth, and out of which your ESOPs are 8 crores or 9 crores, so you have to de-risk. But that apart, I asked, what do you want from your portfolio? And they really did not have an answer. They were not big spenders. For example, if they traveled in a reasonable comfort, but they would not take maybe a business class or none of that. Maybe business class when they were traveling for the company, but otherwise they were not traveling business class. They were traveling maybe premium economy when they are not well or something, but otherwise they wouldn't mind traveling economy or even over a 13-14 hour flight. Makes sense because both were very fit, both had invested in fitness. So, but yes, they would go on treks. They would go on jungle safaris and all those things, and so the topic came up as to, is this money enough for them to retire? Technically, yes, it was enough for them to retire, but I said there is one problem. Their parents were still working, right? I mean, their fathers were still working. The fathers were young. Fathers were maybe the girl's father was, I think, 62, 63, and the boy's father was 67 or something like that. They both had traditional family businesses in which they were working, maybe part-time, but their children were not in that business, so their business partners were more active, but they were still active in the business. They were doing something, maybe 3-4 hours a day or something they were doing, so they were active. They were not, socially they were not very active, but business-wise both the fathers were active. So what do you do at 40 when you have 10 crores and you realize that a 4% withdrawal means about 40 lakhs, and they did not have 40 lakhs kind of expenditure. So I said, one thing which money gives you is flexibility. You can take time off. You can take time off for maybe 1 or 2 years and then decide what to do again, because you're still too young. You have a portfolio which gives you the flexibility of saying, okay, I won't earn for 6 months, I'll walk through the Himalayas and do things like that, and then come back and look for what to do. Because you're not desperately looking for a job. You're not putting your CV all over the country and saying, please give me a job, I'll travel to Nagpur, Udaipur, Jaipur, anywhere, but give me a job. No, you're being choosy. You want to be in Bangalore, you want to be in Mumbai, and you don't want to travel to North India for a job. So you don't mind traveling for vacation, but you don't want to look at, this couple did not want to look at North India for a job. So they were looking at Bangalore, they were looking at Mumbai, they were perhaps willing to look at Chennai, but they were not willing to look at North India for a job. They were not, that's all. I'm not passing judgment. So what do you really do with so much money and not knowing what to do? Because your expenses are less and your income is a corpus, right? So a well-managed corpus can easily let you withdraw at say 4%. But my worry in such cases is not the 4% which is worrying. The fact that they have got too much time in which to for which they are living. It's possible that they make some mistakes. For example, when you have 10 crores and you think and you sit with Subra and Subra tells you, look, if you withdraw 4%, it is 40 lakhs, your expenses are 15 lakhs. So right now you can do whatever you want, relax. The chances are you will make big mistakes with your money. So what are the big mistakes somebody like this could make? Fund a sibling's business. So the sibling comes to you and says, look, you have so much money and you have nothing else to do, give me money. Now this couple had decided not to have kids, so they don't have the kids pressure. But then if there were kids, then the kids would say, oh, give me some money, I want to do business, can I do this career choice? Yes, the 10 crores allows your children to have some choice of career, but not to say I will do nothing. You will have to do something. So that is important. Secondly, both these people have been working very hard. They've worked through the COVID period, maybe work from home or whatever. Will they be able to sit at home doing nothing, just going on vacations? Answer is no. Right now it looks very attractive because last 15 years they've been working their butts off and they want this kind of money. It's not that they don't deserve it. They deserve it. Maybe 10 crores at the age of 40 is not what people have created. When people earning 1 crore also spend 1 crore. So they really don't create this kind of a corpus. So this is a good corpus to have. But what happens if there is another COVID and their income falls? What happens if their portfolio falls? What happens if they're forced to migrate out of India to go to some other country? Will this money be sufficient? Is this an internationally retire anywhere kind of a portfolio? No, it's not. It's not at all sufficient. If you want to retire at 40 in the US, you'll need at least one more zero to it, or even in expensive parts of Europe, right? So this is not a go anywhere thing. Why am I worried about all those things? Because 60 years is too long. What happens if they decide to adopt a child? Are they sure that they will not adopt? As of now, they look like they will not adopt. But I know one couple who adopted a kid at the age of 53 or 54. He has two sons. Both were well off, married off, or at least they had taken up a job and earning well. So this couple got bored. So at the age of 55, they adopted a 4 or 5-year-old, slightly older girl. And they are looking after her. Maybe now they are in their 70s and this kid is grown up very well. So you don't know what you will do. So a large corpus gives you a flexibility to do whatever you want rather than what you must do. They don't have to earn today to feed themselves or to pay for their vacation. So if they can take up a job which pays something like 25 lakhs, right now both of them are in the region of 1.25 crores. But if they can take up a job of 25-30 lakhs, right, maybe work in an NGO, raising finances for them, look after their technology. One of them is a technology person, one of them is a salesperson. So doing some fundraising for an NGO or something like that, and say, look, I will not take a salary, but you have to cover my cost, right? So those things can be done. They can take up a 20 lakh rupee job, 15 lakh rupee job. So largely what a big corpus does is to give you flexibility of what you want to do in life. Also realize that you might get bored doing nothing from the age of 40 till the age of 100, right? Yeah, it is possible that you will say, no, I'll spend 1 hour in the gym, I will do yoga, I will go for a swim, and I will read a lot and things like that. But what happens if it does not really keep you busy? What happens if you start getting bored? What happens if you call up friends who say, boss, I can't take a vacation the way you can take? People are taking a jibe at you, or all those things. Secondly, your ability to spend also may depend on the investment performance. Maybe you're not very good fund manager. Maybe the person you have hired to look after your money is not the best. So your funds have not performed well, and so you're a little worried now, right? So all those hassles also there. And yeah, boredom is something which you will have to fight. It's not going to be very easy fighting it. And also, it is not that overnight things will change and say from tomorrow I'm going to do something. No, this boredom will get into you, then you will do nothing, then you will get habituated to doing nothing, right? So imagine at 45 being unemployable because 5 years you have not done anything. I mean, you have to have something which you have done, right? Maybe you made a research paper, maybe you did a thesis on music, something, some activity to keep you busy. You can just sit and watch Netflix all day and say, look, I have a choice of doing nothing. Yes, you have a choice of doing nothing, but imagine a choice of doing nothing for 60 years. I'm fine if you retire at 65 and say, no, I really don't want to do anything for 3-4 years, and then wondering maybe you should have done something. I don't know, I'm just speculating. That is different. But from 40 to 100 doing nothing seems to be very difficult. It does not matter whether you have 10 crores or 12 crores or 15 crores. And the fact that you will not make mistakes. I will not lend money to anybody, anything, etc., etc. I may do charity, but I will not do VC funding and things like that. You could be sure about that, but mistakes could happen. You could lose money. You could get a bad fund manager who underperforms. So all these things are going to impact you and have a very bad impact on you. You don't want to run out of your money at the age of 80 or 85 or something like that. You want to run out of your money maybe 1 month after you die, not before that. Thank you.